Hello everybody, welcome to my channel again. In this video I'm gonna show you how to create the login functionality to our application. For this video I have prepared some kind of UI design and they are very simple. So I will put their links to this description of this video. So if you would like to follow along with them, you can download them and easily can follow it. So first of all I'm gonna extract those UI design from this folder, and let's get all of them, and I will put them to my applications folder. So whenever it's completed, I'm just gonna get this connection.php and I will put it to the includes folder. Okay, so now if you come to here, as you can see it says object is not found because our connection.php is actually under the includes folder. So we have to write connection.php, and now it says connection successful, but I don't want to write that kind of URL here again. So that's why I'm gonna call this connection.php in the login.php that I will show you in just in a few seconds. um, so now our folder is, our applications folder is looks like this one, and this is the as how it looks like. uh, we have an index php. This is for this page, for our main page. This shows this page, and also we have the login.php as well, which actually is shows the login page. Login page just looks like this one. Okay, so as you can see we have a login section here and we have a register section here. We will use this one in later on videos, I think in the next video, and we will implement the registration functionality as well. So as default I'm gonna hide this one, so I don't want to show to users the register section. So that's why let's go to the login.php, and in the login.php I will just add a style here. This is um, display none, and if you come here and refresh the page, as you can see now the registration section is not showing. Okay, so now we have to add a functionality to our application to whenever the user clicks the login button here, they will be able to log into our system. So that's why in sorry about that, in this login.php I'm gonna write php. I'm gonna put my php tags, and I will write includes and connection.php. And as I told, this is our uh, connection file that we have created in the previous video, not in the previous, and if in the first video. But this connection file is not exactly that we want, so we will manipulate it as well. We will add some new features. I will convert this connection.php to a kind of class. So that's why let's write here class, and I'm gonna give it name db connection, and then let's do it like that. And here I'm gonna create a private variable called connection. Private con is the same thing. then then I will write a function called connect. So whenever we create an object from this class, and whenever we call the connect function, it will directly connect to the database. Okay, so let's write protected function connect, and let's do it like that here. Okay, this is very simple, but instead of this video I'm gonna change this one to this connection, which means this variable will hold the connection whenever this PDO object is created. Okay, and also I want to add an attribute to this connection, this PDO object. So, and I want to get, whenever I send the request to database and whenever I get some data from database, I want to connect it automatically to the object. I know it's a little complicated right now, but whenever I show you, you will understand it much more better. So I'm just gonna write this con set attribute, and I'm gonna write PDO attribute default mode, default fetch mode, PDO fetch object. What that means, whenever we get an data from database, it automatically converts it to the object instead of just a simple, instead of just a normal array. Instead, we will hold all the values inside an object. Okay, I will show you later this one. And the last thing that we have to do here is to write return this connection. So we have created a function here called connect, and whenever we call this function, it will connect the database and it will hold the connection on this connection variable, and if it's connected, it will directly return the connection. Otherwise, if it couldn't connect it, it will show this message. Okay, actually now everything is okay. So I'm gonna create another class in this classes folder, and I will call this one as user. So now let's have a create a class here called user, and also I have to write extend db connection. What actually that means, it will, by the way, let me save this one. This is going to be user.php. okay, this class will be parent class of db connection. So db connection is actually the super class. This class is the super class of the user. So whenever we create an object from user class, actually this class will hold all of those functions as well. So we will be able to call the connect function inside the user class. So now I'm gonna create another variable here called private connection, and I'm gonna create an array as well, which I will hold all the errors if I face in the login. Okay, so I'm gonna explain it later a little more deeply, and you will understand it. So in this class, the first function that we have to write is the constructor. Actually, it's called constructor function or just constructor, and we have to write it like that. Construct. By the way, not constructor, just construct. Okay. Whenever an object is created from this class, the first function will be called is this one. Okay, and here I'm gonna write this connection. In this class, this connection variable will be this connect. Actually, what will happen, this function will try to find a connect function in this class, and because of that it will not be able to find it. It will check to the db connection class, which is the super class of this one, and because of that we have the connect function here. It will directly call this function, and this object will automatically be connected to the database. Okay, this is actually how this function is working here. And also I'm gonna write this error array, and I'm gonna create an empty array here. So I will be able to put to all the error messages on this one. Okay, so now let's go and write a function called public function login, and this function will get two parameters. One of them is going to be email, and other one will be the password. Okay, and also here I'm gonna create a variable called password, and I will hold the sended password, I mean sended parameter over this function. So instead of directly holding this password, I'm gonna convert the sended password to the md5, MD5 is kind of encryption algorithm that comes in default in PHP, and this is very simple encryption algorithm. And I will convert this password to the encrypted one. Okay, so I'm gonna write password. Okay, the another step is we have to write an SQL statement here. I'm gonna write an SQL statement, and I will call select name, email, name, surname, and email from users, where email is equal to this one and password is equal to this one. So we have to supply this email and passwords to this SQL statement, because we just put an question mark here. So to supply those email and passwords to this SQL statement, we have to write statement this connection prepare SQL. What that means, this will call this connection and it will prepare this SQL statement. Okay, so as a parameter we have sent it this SQL statement to this prepare function, and it will automatically prepare this statement to use in the database. Okay, and also, but still we didn't supply these email and passwords here, so we have to write like that statement execute, and this is going to be an array, and the first parameter is email that I'm getting from user, and the second parameter is going to be password, which I converted to the MD5. Okay, and here I will just write user will be statement fetch, and the fetch means actually it will send this statement to the it will send this SQL statement to the database, and it will check if there's a user. If there's a user, actually it will return a row here which holds uh, all I mean the name, surname, and email of the user, but it will return them as an object. So actually we will be able to just write user title, user name, like we'll be able to say username. Name is actually just a column in the database, as you remember we have created in the first video in the users table. So it will convert the data which is found in the users database, and the names column, it will convert it to the object, so it will just print it here. Okay, so this is how exactly is converting it to an object. Okay, so I'm not gonna print anything here right now. I'm just gonna check if user is null. That means if this one is empty because the user is not found, and this returned null here, then I'm gonna add an error to do this error array. So that's why I'm gonna write array push this error array. I'm giving my array name, and the error that I want to put is email or password is invalid. Okay, and lastly I'm gonna return the user. Actually for this video I'm gonna stop here because it becomes very long, but in the next video I'm gonna show you the rest steps of this login functionality. Okay, see you in the next video.